I didn't give you permission to interrupt me. I didn't give you permission to interrupt me. I stayed quiet when you were talking.
Now you're arrested without charge. If you're held for a security reason,
I will say what I want. It's uncensored. Good boy.
Let me finish, please. Let me make my point.
Try and have a proper debate.
Can I make my point,
I'll say what I like. Does he have leverage on you, Piers Morgan?
There's no leverage on me, no.
You've got a picture with Maxwell.
Yes, we can lay Maxwell.
Did you go to the island?
Move on to Israel now.
Why don't we move on to the
resolve
debate?
this in court.
What's wrong with you? Why are you not looking at me again? You're crying. Are you crying?
Because the viewers are seeing the three of us together.
I see that there's tears in your eyes.
There are no tears in my eyes.
What's going on?
There's a slight sense of exasperation.
Sure, there should be. Because you are employing...
What do you think I am?
Hello, everybody. This has to be the most intense debate I probably have ever seen, at least that I can remember. Alan Dershowitz, you may have remembered him, lawyer for Trump and Epstein, actually. Mohammed Hijab, I'm not sure if you guys know him, but he's very prominent debater. He has this kind of tactic of being very confrontational, as you can see there. But this interview or this debate is about Israel and genocide, and obviously tensions are high. Let's get to it.
Attorney of Jeffrey Epstein, a man himself accused of rape.
I knew we would get to that. I
didn't give you permission to interrupt me. I didn't give you permission to interrupt me. I stayed quiet when you were talking.
Okay, here's what I would say.
I stayed quiet when you were talking.
Hang on. Here's what I would say.
To the merits.
I didn't give you permission.
Listen, Mohammed, attacking a lawyer for defending people is a stupid argument.
Well, right? I'm not making an argument yet.
Well, you're just using an
I'm not making an argument.
attack straight off the top.
Has he got leverage on you? Is that
no,
why
he's a brilliant lawyer.
You saw your picture with Maxwell. He's got leverage on you.
He's a brilliant lawyer.
Are you saying that because he's got leverage on you?
I met Ghislaine Maxwell for 5 minutes at a book launch.
You look very happy with her.
Well, I didn't know anything about her at the time, other than she was the daughter of the man that
We're talking about the biggest sexual scandal in the last 100 years.
Who I never met Jeffrey Epstein or ever knew him. Alan Dershowitz was wrongly accused of various things in relation to Jeffrey Epstein.
How do you know it's wrongly?
Because they've all been...
Why are you defending him?
They all turned out to be nonsense. He won a court case about it.
Why are you not looking at me when I'm speaking to you?
Well, I can turn to you, but there are three of us involved in this.
Yeah, you're speaking to me, so
okay, let me make things clear. Yeah. I never met Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. I met Ghislaine Maxwell for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you look very happy in that picture.
Okay, if you want to use that as an ad hominem attack
but why
on me,
why are you defending him?
Hang on. A picture taken in 2013.
He spoke for 3 minutes, I spoke for 20 seconds.
I'm defending him because your first attack on him is to attack him as a lawyer because he defends bad people.
That's fine.
Here's a little secret for you, Mohammed. All lawyers do that.
No, but hold on, we're not talking about bad people. We're talking about, excuse me, you've had enough speaking. I'm talking about a person who, after the fact, said that he was proud to defend him after the allegations come out. You still want to... Do you condemn Dershowitz?
For what?
For defending Epstein.
I have defended,
and being proud of defending Epstein.
It's not for me to defend him.
I have defended some of the best people in the world.
Okay, Alan, you defend yourself.
No, why should he defend himself? I haven't even spoken for 20 seconds.
Alan can defend himself.
Well, let me speak for more than 20 seconds. I haven't even made my point yet.
I helped to defend Bill Clinton.
Now, is it?
I've helped to defend some of the finest people in the world, and I've also helped to defend some of the worst.
Defended. Is that a terrible crime?
He was not proud of defending John Lennon in the same way as he announced that he was proud of defending Epstein.
What's this got to do with Israel?
This has got to do with the fact that this man, the credibility of this man is on the line. He defends Israel on the one hand, and on the other hand, he defends Epstein. I think the public should know this.
I know you may think that's not substantive, but I think he makes a good point, right? He's being aggressive, but he's making a good point here that Alan Dershowitz has represented some horrible men in history. He tends to be on the wrong side of these things. So, I mean, it's fair for him to bring that up as a point of argument. Let's get back to it.
Great Britain confined tens of thousands of people without charges during the Second World War.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Did the same.
Two wrongs don't make a right. Should we talk about what Hitler done? Let's talk about what Hitler done.
Let me make my point. I'm opposed to that. I wrote an article against administrative detention. But you can't compare that, no matter how bad it is. You can't compare it to 3-year-olds being kidnapped, to people being raped and murdered. You can't compare what happened on October 7th to what Israel has done in terms of security prisoners. There's no comparison at all. And stop interrupting me, please.
That's 30 times more. If you want us to take you seriously, if you want us to take this coverage seriously, if you want us to take Western media seriously, then let's, for God's sake, talk about proportionality as your favorite word. We're talking about 30,000 people detained in prisons on the one hand, and 100 people who are hostages. And yet we have managed somehow to spend way more time proportionally.
You said 3,000 a minute ago. Which one is it? 3,000?
Sorry, 3,000. 3,000.
But not 30,000.
Not 30.
Okay,
3,000.
Get your numbers right if you're going to make that kind
Okay, I misspoke.
Exaggerated
not a problem.
10 times.
Not a problem. He spoke about Iran. Let me ask you a question.
I'll tell you what, let me ask the question.
Sure, go ahead.
And you guys try and debate it.
Go ahead.
At the moment, Alan Dershowitz is being very civilised in the way he's debating.
I'm sure you're going to say that.
You're just making
ad hominem
attacks and shouting all the time.
He's your friend.
No one can understand it when you shout.
Have you met him
all the
before?
time. I know Alan well.
Oh, you know him well.
I respect him very much.
Oh, yes, you do.
He's one of America's top lawyers.
He's top lawyers.
Yeah, he is.
And you're an unbiased person here on Central.
An unbiased person about Alan Dershowitz. Why?
Does he have leverage on you, Piers Morgan?
There's no leverage on me, no.
You've got a picture with Maxwell.
Yes, with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Did you go to the island?
No, I've never been to the island. I've never met Jeffrey Epstein.
Be honest.
I never spent more than 5 minutes with Ghislaine Maxwell. I've answered you. So what part of that wants to...
Do you condemn him being on the island? He's your good friend.
You can ask about Jeffrey Epstein.
You had a massage.
He represented him.
He said he didn't take his shorts off.
Do you know what? None of this has got anything to do with Israel.
He said he didn't take his shorts off when he was getting a massage.
Please, Mohammed.
Why is this uncomfortable?
It's nothing to do with the debate.
He didn't take his shorts off, but he's got his pants down now, hasn't he?
Can you stop it?
Why?
What's the point?
Why? He defended one of the most obnoxious people in the last 100 years. Why should I stop it?
Actually, what is going on right
now
I stop it? In the Middle East is incredibly important.
Yes, and you have this man who's...
You are trivialising that. Well, if you didn't want to do a debate, don't agree to do it.
Who said I'm not going to do a debate? I'm saying this person who's defending Israel...
Stupid ad hominem attacks is pathetic.
Oh, okay. All right. He's your good friend. You want to defend him so much.
What are you talking about?
You're defending him.
Huh?
You're defending him. You're defending a monster. A pervert. An old pervert.
He's not a pervert or a monster.
Why is he not? He knew Epstein... And for us, there's good influence.
Why are you doing this, Mohammed?
Why not?
Because it's pointless. You may get a few clicks
ask
on...
your questions.
You might get a few clicks on it. So what?
It's not...
Ask your questions.
Let me be very clear. It's not pointless. He just called me a pervert. He will be sued now for defamation, and we will be able to resolve this in a court of law. I guarantee you that he will be sued for calling me a pervert.
You are a pervert
the woman
because
who
you are
falsely
acquainted with Jeffrey Epstein.
Has now withdrawn her
Sure, I've got my own defamation cases. I know the law very well here.
That
you
she
can't
may have confused me with somebody else, and calling me a pervert will result in a defamation law.
For Alan Dershowitz to say that there's no comparison between what Israel has done and the vicious response that they've had since October 6th, it's just absolutely insane. Like, I mean, these guys are trying to wipe them out, right? They're trying to wipe out Palestine. It's already occupied. I mean, these guys are... That's just an insane argument. And again, Piers is biased. Every time he has a friend on or some type of connection with someone, he tries to side with them a little bit and almost make their arguments for them. Now, I don't think there's any leverage on him as far as Epstein stuff. I think he's just trying to get under his skin, but it is pretty funny to see them both on their heels like that. Let's get back to the final part of this debate. You don't want to miss this.
Sure.
Can we all agree that Hamas and Hezbollah are a bad thing?
I can agree that the Western man, has tried to use social constructs like terrorism to try and absolve themselves from all the things that they...
What would you call them, Hamas and Hezbollah?
Well, I mean, just like any human being. Just like any human being, they can sometimes be oppressive and they can sometimes be on the right side of history.
Most human beings do not do what Hamas did on October the 7th.
Well, in the Zionist entity, they do. And they do worse than that.
They don't.
They don't.
Israel's never committed an atrocity on that scale.
On what scale?
On that scale.
Explain. What scale?
Killing 1,200 people.
They've killed 40,000.
Sorry, in one day... Massively,
they've killed 40,000.
Israelis that could get their hands on, kidnapping children,
on the 23rd of September, what happened?
Holocaust
on the 23rd, we were talking about October
raping and abusing women, beheading people. Oh, you don't think that happened, do you?
Well, hold on. You just said raping and abusing. We just started the show with an admission that there's a problem in Israeli society. That there was.
I'm talking about Hamas.
Yeah, but you just said Israel doesn't.
We both condemned what you talked about earlier in relation
So why are
to
you saying Israel don't do that? What's wrong with you?
I didn't say that.
You just said that now.
No, I didn't.
You said Israel doesn't do, and then you just listed 3 or 4 things, and that was one of the things that you just listed.
No, I said Israel had never...
Am I speaking a foreign tongue?
Sorry, listen to what I'm saying. I said Israel never perpetrated an atrocity on that scale.
Okay.
On the 23rd one day against the people of Palestine. They never have.
Well, hold on. How many civilians died on October the 7th?
Civilians about 800.
Oh, sure. All right.
But hang on.
Hold on.
But nearly 7,000 more were wounded.
Sure.
7,000
What happened on the 23rd of September?
were wounded.
What happened on the 23rd of September?
7,000.
Okay. Sure.
Think about that number.
Okay, no problem.
That's the scale of people who were attacked on that day.
Are we talking over each other? It's 2-on-1 now.
8,000 people were attacked.
No problem. On the 23rd
One of the most horrendous terror attacks.
Is this going to be a monologue or is it a dialogue?
History. I'm telling you some facts.
I know the facts.
I may not like it, but I'm telling you them.
Okay, I'm telling you, on the 23rd of September, Israel attacked Lebanon. How many people died? How many civilians died, according to the Lebanese health, the Ministry of Health?
I believe it's about 2,000 was the last recorded number I saw.
No, in one day. On the 23rd of September.
Including combatants, including many combatants.
No, on the 23rd, how many died? How many died? Why don't we have a year commemorating the 23rd of... A year commemorating the 23rd of September, since we're having a year commemorating the 7th of October, and about 600 people died, 650 people, civilians died on that day. That's quite close, isn't it?
We don't know they're civilians. They don't distinguish between
8,000 people
were
attacked.
We're not talking about attack. We're talking about dead. What's wrong with you? Why are you not looking at me again? You're crying. Are you crying?
Because the viewers are seeing the three of us together.
I see that there's tears in your eyes.
There are no tears in my eyes.
What's going on?
There's a slight sense of exasperation.
Sure, there should be. Because you are employing...
What do you think I am?
I think you said it yourself with your interview with Mehdi Hassan. I think you're just biased. You talked about tribes.
Who am I biased against?
You're biased against anything anti-Western, clearly. You said...
What a ridiculous statement.
Because you said it yourself. You said the reason why you have such and such a view with Russia and
Do you think
Ukraine...
I was biased when I led the media campaign against the Iraq war?
No, I think you were...
Was I biased against brown people then?
You were good then.
Was I? I was good then because you agreed with me.
Sure, because you're on the side of truth. Just like I could say Hezbollah was not on the side of truth in 2013, but they're on the side of truth today. I can say this, and even though they're Muslims just like me, just like I can say that Hamas is wrong for doing such and such a thing, but they're right on such and such a thing. I can say all these things. You should be able to do the same thing.
What have Hamas been right about?
Resisting, because they're occupied territory. If they had just attacked,
they were given billions of dollars in 2005.
Okay.
When they took charge of the.
Have they got a right to defend themselves?
Hang on.
Against military.
When they took charge of the Palestinian people and had power from 2005, they got billions of dollars. And what they did with that money was spend it on tunnels, which they built around civilians.
Sure, so what?
So that they could then launch a horrendous terror attack. Okay. And they knew when Israel came after them...
about the terror attack.
Hang on.
When Israel a dead horse.
When Israel then came after them after October the 7th, they knew, because they'd embedded themselves on the tunnels around civilians,
you're flogging
that
a
lot of Palestinians would get slaughtered in the process.
My question
that's exactly what's happening.
My question to you, does Palestine have a right to defend itself? Does Hamas have a right to defend itself exclusively against military targets?
Everybody has the right to defend themselves.
So Hamas can do that against military targets?
What they did not do themselves is not self-defense. It was a terror attack.
Hold on.
Is that saying Al-Qaeda? That's not my question. Had the right to...
But that's not
September.
We both agreed that the civilian death is something we should both condemn. Yeah? We're talking about areas of agreement. You just said it yourself. I'm saying now, do you agree that Hamas has the right, because they're an occupied territory, Gaza is an occupied territory, according to the UK, by the way, they're an occupied territory because of effective military control. According to the UK...
They ended their occupation in 2005.
No, hold on. You're meant to be intelligent. You're meant to know this fact. According to the UK government, according to the US government, and you can check it up online, and according to the UN, all three organizations, Gaza is an occupied territory because there is no... because they have control over the borders, they have control of the population.
But I've said this many times,
Mohammed. Sure, you agree with it. You said it recently.
I've
said many times.
Let me give you the facts. Let me give you the facts, please. Can I give you the facts?
Yes, you can respond.
Let me give you the facts. Yeah. Okay, the facts are, in 2005, I was there in Israel when the Israeli government...
Are you sure you were not in Epstein's house?
...uprooted every single civilian,
let me just say
every single dead person who was buried there.
Getting a massage.
Not a single soldier.
Guys, Mohammed's hijab is relentless. He just won't stop. You can hear him in the background there mentioning Epstein and his island. I think that's hilarious. But guys, you see how angry and loud Piers got, mentioning 7,000, 7,000. Have you ever seen him be like that for any pro-Palestinian position? Think about that for a second. And I agree with Mohammed. I mean, at times you can say that people are terrorists. I mean, and at times, depending on the situation, they could be defending themselves. But yeah, I'm going to end it there. Alan Dershowitz goes on to say he supports a military occupation in Gaza, which is insane, and West Bank. But he also supports a two-state solution and believes Netanyahu is causing more trouble than actually helping the issue. But I'll leave it there, guys. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This is a tiny channel, and I would love to spread the message more. Thanks, guys.